Yo, yo. What up? What up? Yo. What up? What up? Hey. Hey, welcome. Welcome to Benny's crib. What up? Yeah, just leave your shoes over there. It's cool. Yeah, thanks. Does that sound cool? Yo, what up? Welcome to Benny's crib. Beautiful people, we are here in Portland, Maine yet again. Is it another night? It's another time to be excited and grateful. We got 3 individuals that I'm very excited to talk to this evening. I've talked to 2 of these individuals before, but not as a complete unit. They got a pop-in recording studio out of Westbrook that's currently become a frequent stop for many different faces and artists in the 207 hip-hop scene. A big welcome to Benny's crib, Timezone Studios. How are y'all?
How's it going, man? How you
good.
doing?
It's good.
Good. I'm feeling blessed. This is actually episode 101.
Word.
Just did the 100th one. I interviewed myself. So this is a nice
lit.
change, like to actually be like talking to people, not be like in a room by myself having an hour conversation.
I know. How did that work, bro?
That was an
How'd
interesting
you
idea.
do that? Did you just like click back and forth?
I had answers. I sat on one side of the room, read the answers, changed clothes, sat on the other side of the room and did the questions.
That's okay.
But it's out now on this channel, so watch it and shit if you want. I'm finna get back to y'all though. The reason we're here, Cardiac and Jalen Y2 Crazy and Permy all in the building.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Super Permy is actually the full name. Is it Y2 Jalen? What you going by now, Jalen?
Y2K Jalen.
Y2K
Yeah.
Jalen. Part of my France. I forgot the K there. Again, thank y'all for being here. How we doing? We feeling good tonight? How's the vibe check?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah, we just
Good?
chilling,
Good.
man.
Hell yeah. I'm trying to figure out the best place to put my questions, and I ain't figured it out yet. For some reason, it's smaller font. Good thing about podcasting, too, because I know you talked about getting a podcast maybe going. Anything you're doing, narrate it. Because
Yeah.
usually sometimes when I'm, like, doing shit, technical shit, I kind of just want to keep it in my head. But you can't be having dead air on the podcast.
That's true.
Right.
And even this
Just
little
explain
conversation is
everything.
good, you know?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cardiac and Permy came through the crib digitally for some video chat interviews back last year.
Yeah.
In the
during
height of the
COVID
pandemic, height of
Yeah.
COVID. And I figured we had to link in person because this story is definitely one I want to hear in person. I want to have it on wax and on video for the people to realize there's some cool ass shit happening in Westbrook right now.
shit. Right.
And of course, I got to get the young superstar Y2K Jalen on the podcast for the first time. You say it's your first podcast ever?
Yeah, it's my first podcast ever.
I was telling Jalen before the cameras were on, I've been hearing and seeing his name out here damn near since I started getting out here, and that was like 2018. So
Love, bro.
the fact that we're here, I'm pretty excited, yo. I love putting dope.
I know. Yo, can the camera see you?
Yeah. You can see him, right, Twigs? Yeah. It's a
Oh,
wide
wow.
lens. It's like ain't a fish eye. It's like a aquatic life eye of another variety. But yeah, for real, yo, I'm honored to have y'all here. All introductions aside, I've already asked 2 of y'all this question, so I'm finna kind of break it down, I think, a little bit before I get deep into it. The first question is, what's your first memory of hip-hop? But we'll start with Permy real quick. I believe you said you just remember hearing it around a lot when you were growing up, and then more as a
Yeah.
teenager you got into it, right?
Yeah, facts.
Do you remember like any specific kind of like artists or moments as like a real youngin listening to it?
Definitely Lil Wayne. He was like one of the first rappers that I got into. And just Outkast. I listened to a lot of Eminem, just like classic, just like the Major, Biggie, all those people.
That's a perfect answer because Cardiac, you also mentioned some early memories of Outkast being played, maybe by your pops, maybe.
Yep, I remember all that stuff, man. Yep, that was like one of my first early memories, and I got a lot of other early memories too. Just like she said, Wayne. Just kind of that generation, growing up in that generation, you kind of all heard like a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
But it was good shit because it was all inspirational.
Yeah, that shit was hugely inspirational. I like that y'all both mentioned Outkast too. Because I think,
Yeah.
Permy, did you mention that 3 Stacks was like an MC you have in high regard, I believe?
He's like my favorite artist.
Your
ever,
favorite?
for real. Then, yeah.
That's dope. And he never dropped a solo album.
Right.
That says something right there. Big Boy's dropped 3 solo albums, but
Right.
I ain't going front to be like on some hip hop shit. I like Big Boy's solo albums, a good amount, but I don't think any of them be classics. Maybe the first
Right,
one.
I feel that. Oh god. Mm-hmm.
And it's like sometimes maybe it's better to not drop shit. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. I thought there was a ghost coming out the bathroom. And we got to go to Jalen though. Jalen, what's your first memory of hip hop? I ain't never heard it yet.
Right.
Yo, my first memory of hip hop was actually pretty much the same as my bros. Like, I was riding around, like in the truck with my pops, and he was playing "Hey Ya" by Outkast.
Wait, so
Right.
all 3 of y'all got Outkast? That's
Yeah,
tremendous.
actually.
That's dope as hell.
That was my first memory, and I was like, "Damn, what is this?" Like,
It's unlike anything you've ever heard it. That I mean, that's how I
Oh,
felt the first
God.
time
Right,
I heard that. I
for
was
real.
like, what the fuck? This is like a different language, yo.
real talk.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
My first memory.
I like keeping it in the beginning of y'all lives, in a sense, for the beginning of the podcast.
Right. Makes sense.
Again, Cardiac, we talked before, but you're a very well-traveled individual.
Yeah.
Believe you were born in VA, but you've been all around the country, like Sioux Falls, Atlanta, Chicago. But would you call Memphis kind of like your hometown before?
Yeah,
Maine?
that's where I grew up the most. That's like where I spent my formative years.
I guess for those who don't know, talk on briefly, if you can, in a couple, bullet points. What's growing up in Memphis like as a youth? It's a pretty big question.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a lot of people be saying that shit, but it's just like anywhere else. But it's just, you got your same shit, but at the end of the day, it's just like Memphis as a whole is like a very musical city. So you're gonna hear a lot of music. You go see a lot of flossing. You gonna growing up seeing like cars with big rims, candy paint, all that shit. It's like kind of how a person would just picture the South in general, but it's dangerous shit too. I guess it's all about what you get into and shit. Like, I ain't gonna downplay it, like Memphis is dangerous, but it's also a lot of good to it too. So
Yeah, no, that's cool. I remember you mentioned candy paint cars, like seeing them when you were walking, like in the morning, sometimes to school or shit, or just be out and be like, you see that
like,
first thing, you be like, what the fuck?
I seen some of the rawest cars in Memphis ever, bro.
That's
I see
so
cars with screens on the outside playing music videos while
Wait,
I
like a
was
TV
driving.
screen?
Yeah, like multiple,
good.
like
Like
a screen
this-
on each door.
Some exhibit shit, man.
Right, like
That's
real
wild.
crazy stuff, bro.
Damn.
Like, just like a lot of cool shit. That's not the only thing, but like going down on Bill Street, seeing the culture, like blues and stuff was heavy before all that. It's also like a lot of people come to Memphis for Elvis Presley, but like I ain't never been to Graceland.
Elvis kind of a bitch too. I ain't gonna front if I can say that. I don't really like Elvis. I feel like he stole a lot of his shit and swag from black artists.
Right.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's stayed in the home of Memphis, but
Okay.
a lot of tourists come from all over the world to see that. And then,
Yeah.
like, what else do we got? We got the fucking Martin Luther King exhibit where he was shot, like the Lorraine Motel.
Right.
Dang,
They
bro.
turned that into a museum. So as a kid, just growing up,
it's
going
heavy.
to see that shit, it's heavy on like the like black civil rights and all that, because
Yeah.
it's one of those cities that got like a lot of history with that kind of stuff. And like Memphis is like a predominantly like black city, so it's like the mayor was black, cops are black, teachers are black, everybody black. In Memphis is just like a predominantly, but it's like how you would almost picture Atlanta or some shit. It's like that, but like it's cool though. Like it was a fun time, and it was definitely like a good city growing up in and stuff, just to like learn.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's a hard city to come out of, so like if you come out of that city and you go anywhere else, it's like makes it easier. Like you're like, oh okay.
Bet. I'm glad you broke that down to people at home. If any point too you're interested in any of Cardiac's stories, and you're like, I want to hear more about this cat specifically, I'm telling y'all, go listen to the podcast with him. I replayed it just to get some more info for this podcast, and it's a really good one. I really appreciate it. And I do want to say, because I love Memphis hip hop, and I'm still beat up about this, I'm finna do a couple seconds.
Free Pooh Shiesty.
Free Pooh Shiesty too, but
Shiesty,
I
bro.
forgot he locked up too. I was gonna say I want to like legit do a couple seconds moment of silence for Young Dolph. real
R.I.P.
quick.
Young Dolph.
So we'll start it right now. Moment of silence, real quick. R.I.P. Young Dolph, man. It's just so fucked up. Let's touch base and pivot though to maybe a much different place than Memphis. That's the state of Maine. Your family moved here, in like 2012, you said? You traveled a little bit and then kind of came back more like in the 2018 range, I believe, right?
Yeah, I came out here for the first time, I think it was like 2010.
Damn, that's early.
Yeah, but like that's when I was in high school, and I think I left in 2012,
Got you.
and then I came back in 2018,
Mm.
if I can remember it right.
Yeah, and then you said a lot
At
of
the
like
end of 2018, almost 2019. It was like basically the last month of 2018.
perfect because you remember you mentioned when you were here for high school like it's kind of where you made some connections and we're like kind of getting more like into like seeing a lot of cats were making music out here.
Yeah, basically when I came out here, that's when I started trying to take music more seriously. Like before that, I was
so
just
cool.
like, I was like rapping with my friends, but like we had my homie, you know, Pat. He came through for the interview.
Yeah, St. Pat. Shout out St. Pat
Back
if
in
you're
the
watching,
hood,
man.
bro, he's from Memphis. So back in the hood, he used to come through with like the laptop and the mic and stuff. We used to just be doing bad shit. Me and my friends, we be running around doing
Allegedly.
a bunch of bad shit. Yeah, bro, I ain't gonna say what we was doing.
Hey, don't have to.
man,
We're
like,
still in a place for
but we was going around doing bad shit, and Pat would come through with his mic. He was the only kid that was like focused on music more than anything.
Wow.
So he'll come through with his laptop and his mic and record all of us. He wasn't even from the neighborhood that we was at, but I wasn't from the neighborhood either. It was just my boy's neighborhood, T. We used to all link up over his neighborhood, and we used to just record music. So that's kind of what I was doing prior to that. And then when I came out here, that's when I was like, I found like studios and stuff I could go to and people who were like doing it, and I was like, oh, where I could just like do it like that. Okay.
That's ill, yo.
I just started kind of taking it serious.
It's cool too. I mean, Memphis sounds like like a very musical, if not one of the most music-oriented cities in the country. But
yeah, but it's just poor, so people don't got no resources out there like that. You can't just pull up to the studio at like 16, 17 out there, but like you can do that out here. So
that's
it's like,
wild.
it was just easier to like do stuff.
Hell yeah. That's a good segue too, because let's talk about how Permy got to the 207. You were born what, like in Indiana or some shit, and pretty much came here as a baby, I think you said?
Yeah, when I was like 1, so I don't really remember living out there.
Got you. So you've been pretty much in the 207 for all your memories.
Yep, basically.
Tremendous. Go listen to the Super Permy podcast too to kind of get some more insight to that, because we got to pivot now to Jalen. Jalen, where are you from? Are you from Maine originally?
I'm from Memphis, actually.
You're from Memphis too, sweet.
Yeah, just like my brother. But I moved out to the 207 probably like 3rd grade for real.
Really? So you mad young?
Yeah, so I was pretty young, but I have a lot of memories from other like states.
Really? Yeah. Did you do a lot of traveling too?
Yeah, shit. I've been out the country before.
Ooh, where'd you go?
I've been to Mexico and Italy before.
Italy? I've been to Italy too. Where'd you go in Italy?
We went to Sicily.
Ooh, you won the boot.
Bruh, we went to Rome and Valladolid. It was some little place.
That
yeah,
sounds
some
cool.
random place.
I went to like Milan and these little fishing
Oh yeah,
villages.
we went to Milan.
There we go. So we've been in the same city internationally.
Milan's dope.
Different time. The place had a lot of like kind of like a big cultural place, like fashion and shit like that, shopping. Shit I didn't have enough bread for because I was in high school.
For real, I had no bread out there.
No, nothing, man.
That was dope to see.
That's tremendous. Well, I lost my place, so I'm gonna verbalize what I'm doing while I can continue to figure it out and not have any dead air. All right, perfect. Now that we kind of all got y'all into the 207 and how you got to this state, I gotta talk about the road or the path or the journey that has led to Timezone Studios. Because like I said, y'all here because I really like what you're doing. I mean, you can see what I'm doing here. It's very, self-driven and it's, independent in a sense. I see that same theme and hear it with what y'all do. And like I said, I really respect that. So if you will, I kind of want to pivot now into the present, maybe even the future, if we can say. Before we really talk about Timezone, I feel like I got to talk about Y2 Crazy as well. Cardiac and Jalen, y'all been producing together under Y2 Crazy for a minute now, correct?
Yeah, probably for like maybe 2 years now.
And that's obviously longer than Timezone's been around, correct?
Yeah, but he's always been producing. He's been producing.
Talk on that, Jalen. When did you get into producing?
So I've been making beats probably since like 6th grade. And before I named myself Y2 Crazy, I was doing a couple of shows with beats around here. I did one at Space, I think, one at Suntiki.
Resample, I think.
Yeah, Resample, yep. And that was when people, I think, first heard about me making beats.
That was the first time I heard about you. Like,
yeah.
Who the fuck is this kid? I'm like,
all right.
You got my attention.
I kind of dipped off the face of the earth and then popped back up with like Y2 Crazy.
Yeah, I noticed that because I feel like I'm jumping ahead on my list of questions, but it's all about conversational flow rather than like
Right.
what you type ahead of time.
Word.
I feel like I heard about you too through the good homies in the Ruby Yard or at Soul Folks.
Yeah.
Did you ever do a beat invitational there too? Or did you like link with them ever?
Yeah, actually, me and Rory were pretty good friends.
No shit. How'd you meet? I'm tied with Rory too. So how'd you meet Rory?
So it's a really complicated story.
Really, I mean, if it's too much, you don't have to say.
But
I'd love to
so
hear it.
basically, I was on the internet. I was playing some internet games or something, and like he happened to be on the same TeamSpeak server as me.
Whoa, do you remember the game?
Bro, I don't remember
It's all
the
good.
game. But anyway, so he was on there, and I had already liked his music prior to that, and so I was like, "Yo, you sound just like this dude," and he was like, "That's me." Blah 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 blah.
What?
We were friends like online for a minute, but we never really talked that much. But I had him added, and then boom, he ends up moving on my same street that I lived at the time.
In Biddeford?
On Peaks Island.
Whoa.
So he ended up moving.
That's wild.
On the same street as me.
On
And,
Peaks Island of all places. Not a lot of streets on that island.
Right.
It's a pretty small area.
and then we just became friends. We would we would read books and we would talk and chill.
That's sick as hell, man.
Good people,
Oh yeah, very.
like him
good
and his
people.
whole family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's ill as hell.
And so that was how we met each other.
Yeah.
It was a really weird story. It was
Yeah,
like
that is interesting because I always
Yeah.
thought it was through some music, local shit. Like you were at the Soul Folks Beat Invitational, spinning loops and shit, or playing
I actually
beats.
think I wasn't there.
Yeah,
I missed that.
that's so. I missed that too, so it's all.
Yeah.
But, damn, man, that's why I love these fucking podcasts. Because I mean, I shouldn't have assumed, but I'm like, oh yeah, I bet y'all linked on some like out in public shit. But
Yo, also something about him is he pulled up to my first ever show.
really?
Yeah, I told him I was doing my first ever show, and he pulled up.
Where was it?
It wasn't at Resample. It was like for some reason that building had been closed. Like it was like they were working on it, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
temporarily did it in some other location.
Got you.
Don't remember where
It wasn't that
was.
rooftop one, was it?
Nah, it wasn't
That
a
was one of
rooftop. It
them?
was more like a warehouse kind of building, but
It probably could have been space. I don't know.
it was really dope. And he pulled up and he showed love and people, and that was like a
That's
really
a big
good
look.
first
First
memory.
show ever. You got Rap Ferrero
Yeah.
headlining independent tours. Shout out Rory, yo.
Yo,
Much
shout
love.
out Rory.
Hey, shout out the whole yacht.
Real talk.
Whew. Man, I'm a little flabbergasted. See, it's tough being a host and like a friend in this situation because like I like talking to just shooting this shit and I want to like drift. I'm like, nah, bro, you gotta like steer the fucking boat. You stop talking, the boat might crash. Let's then pivot then to Y2 Crazy kind of forming. You said you kind of disappeared for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Pop back out with Y2 Crazy. What made you, Chris, want to be a part of this too? I mean, obviously your fam, your blood, so I mean, it's kind of
Right.
goes without saying. But just talk about the conceptualization as that as like a big name in a sense.
Yeah. So how did this start? Okay, so yeah, my brother, he just like he was already making beats, and I used to hear his beats all the time, and they were pretty dope. And I used to be like, yeah, it's tight, but he was still kind of too young for me to hang out with. He was like 16, and I didn't mind like smoking with him or like kicking it with him. But
Allegedly.
like, my dad was just be like, not like trying to have that. So
Like a bad either you're gonna be a bad influence type shit.
so I was just trying not to like, I was just trying to play it cool and stuff. But then after a while, like he just started getting older, like 17, and I was like, bro, like I'm not gonna like not hang out with you. So I used to just pick him up from the crib, and then we used to hang out. And then all of a sudden, he just got sick of my dad's crib. Like I did too. So
I
then,
mean, we all grow up a little bit, right? We
Right.
need to
Yeah.
spread our wings a little bit.
So then he just came over to my crib and shit, and so then he was still making beats, and I was like, we just thought about it. I don't even know. We were just like, we came up with the idea together one day. We were just like, bro, I could you can make beats.
It was
and-
when you were listening to Tally and like you really fucked with him and you wanted to make beats for him.
But it was
Yeah.
before that though, because we was making beats in New York before with AG before
Right.
he even did that. So
That's true.
Mm.
we were trying to do that. But
That was when you
we
actually
didn't
took
even,
it serious and were trying to like do shit with it.
I
guess.
think I was just trying to learn how to make beats, and he was like, I'm gonna show you how to make beats. And then he was just like
Yeah.
showing me how to make beats, like slowly, and I was picking it up, but then we just were making beats in the process.
Mm.
And then like I already had homies in the industry, so I was like, well, I could try to get some of these beats to them.
Yeah.
We were trying to get them to some of those people, but they weren't really like picking up on them at first because we were just so new, you know. Like even though I had a good name, it was just like nobody knew me for producing or anything. So like I was just trying to push like the fact that like I could like manage the situation and then have him like really do it, but at the same time I make beats too, you feel me? So it's not like no fraud shit. I didn't want to like jump into it and be like I'm a producer but I don't know how to produce. That's but really fair. It was just like I had mad connections and he had like really good talent with beats. Real. But the only way I could think to put it out is if we came together and like made a group that was like, okay, we gotta do like this. And then he already had the name Why Too Crazy, so he created the name.
That's perfect. Where'd that name come from? How'd you get that idea?
Shit. I really was just from looking up to all the like 2000 shit.
Like is it in homage to Y2K?
Yeah, it's an homage to the Y2K era, Pharrell, all that shit.
Well, I'm trying to think, man. It's like the ice cream shit, and I mean, it's a whole.
You feel me?
Hell yeah, and that's like something that I really grew up in.
I got the clones.
And he really grew up in it, and I just am a fan of it. So.
What's the age gap? Like, how many years y'all apart?
8 years.
8 years. For real.
So it's a lot low key. That's why I said I was already grown, and then like it was hard for me to hang out with him. But then like when he got of age to hang out with, it was easy. But by the time he got of age, I was already doing so much shit in the industry that it was just like, okay, bro, like I could damn near manage this situation, but I can't manage it because nobody know like what he's doing.
Well, that was then.
Yeah, but now so then like I was saying, like people wasn't picking up on it, bro. And then like we ended up sending our first placement out to this artist in Philly, Hood Tally, and he's like coming up crazy, getting mad views, and like he fucked with our beats tough. And once he started fucking with it, then all the people who I knew back from the past, like all the connections who I was trying to plug them with at the beginning, they started catching on and seeing that shit. So sometimes you just gotta take shit like left real quick and see what kind of magic you can make happen just to come back to get everybody else to jump back on board.
Just keep believing and then
now it's like now the balls start rolling a little bit. He's starting to see.
Right.
Hell yeah. It's tremendous. The fruits of your labor, as they say.
Exactly.
Right.
We can't forget about Permy, yo. Super Permy out here spitting harder than 98% of the cats in the state of Maine, yo. Assassinate motherfuckers.
Oh shit.
How did y'all link? All of y'all. When did they find your music, or was it on some like you knew people?
I met J. Chris Cardiac through Wazo.
Okay. Yeah.
He had the studio on High Street.
I think I heard of that. Yeah.
Like a while back.
Yeah.
And he kind of like Wazo. He was the reason like I kind of got into rap type shit. Like he was like DMing me like back to back, like come to the studio. And I'm like, all right, like whatever. And I started going to the studio like every day, and then like eventually like he started coming to the studio, and we got on like we did a couple features and like
y'all got some shit on SoundCloud together, right?
Cool.
We don't have too many songs out, but a couple.
Yeah, we have a lot of songs in the vault though.
Yeah, stay tuned. I heard some of them shits, and I was like, I think it was Why Too Crazy on the productions, Permy rapping.
Yeah.
We'll get to that a little bit if we can. Sweet. Well, now I want to talk about the actual formation of Timezone Studios, because obviously, I mean, it's everyone's kind of dream to have their own spot, their own place they can kick it and record. But how did all, that get to that point? Because y'all know each other, y'all got talent, y'all got family bonds, but how do you kind of get all that into like a concrete, actual, like physical studio? Talk on that process.
Well, I say it's the same shit. It was just kind of like the beats, like we were just like. First we had when he I'll put it like this: when bro was making beats when he first moved in, he used to hook the HDMI cord up to the TV, and like we had no speakers.
Wait, so you play output to the TV?
Yeah, playing output to the TV and watching him make the beats on the computer, and then I was like, bro, if we're gonna be sending these beats to artists, we're gonna have to make these better. So I was like, we gotta go get some speakers. So then I went and bought some speakers, and I came back to the crib. Then he got off work, and he's like, "Word, we got speakers." And then he just started going crazy with the speakers. And then like we moved out of that crib, and then we got to another crib.
Yeah, that tiny ass crib.
I was like, okay, bet. So I was like, I need we need some studio gear, like some. So I think he bought a lot of studio gear, and I knew some previous engineers from like the past, and I asked them basically for like some like nice little presets and stuff that they could hook me up with on like for vocal engineering, just for my own stuff. And I sat down and we played with it, and then we got it to sound so crisp from the crib, and then we just like start recording people, like some of our friends who we knew would pay money, but like just just low key, because we didn't want like everybody to be in our crib.
Right.
I mean, how you think I feel right now?
Right. Real good.
We were just trying to be like mad cool with it, you know, and not just do too much. So then like, like he found the studio. He could actually, you could talk on it.
Yeah,
too.
talk on it, Jim. This is your coming out party, you know.
So I was just literally walking around Westbrook one day, and I saw just like a number, and it was like, you can purchase a lease for this commercial space right here. And like I got to thinking, I was like, that would be so dope just to have a place to like make music at and to like own a studio. And so that was when I think we literally just like talked about it.
Right. You just brought it up.
Yeah.
And then at first I
just brought it up actually. Like
just
really
on some regular shit.
I brought it up like, yo, like we should do this.
Just
like
kicking
this is
it.
right, like this is really close by. Like,
and we didn't really take it serious at first. Like
right.
It was like, oh, it's like a lot of work type shit, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, it's a big investment.
Right.
And then like
you
he
didn't
just
really
kept,
want to do it at
yeah,
first.
low key.
Just
and then you
'cause-
kept pressing it. And
And then I
we
thought about it,
finally-
and I was like,
And
yeah,
then
that's
y'all-
a good idea. And then he went out of town. And then I ended up, while he was out of town, me and her mostly put a lot of the investment money up to make it happen. But we already did it with the intention that it would be like a space for not only us to grow, but him to grow as an engineer and like start really going crazy. Because we have had so much practice from the crib, like of engineering our friends, we were ready to take it and open up our audience to like more of the people and like actually make a business out of it.
The community.
Right.
The community there was a void to be filled in the community.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, let's do it.
So then we just ended up doing it like that, to where like, okay, we can record it for anybody now, and then we just open the doors and start getting some good clients, and it's just
Hell yeah.
pretty cool since then.
I feel like it's been a pretty quick wave of like success for y'all too. Cause when did y'all open? Like late summer last year, fall last year. I'm trying to think.
like late summer last year.
Summer.
Yeah. When did you first see that that sign that said like call this number? Do you remember? Was it like also in the summer? Or did it take a
Yeah,
couple
it
months?
must have been early summer.
So y'all definitely sat on it and were like, all right, like if we're gonna do this right, we ain't jumping in the pool without knowing how to swim type shit.
Right.
Yeah.
That's smart. Oh,
Yeah, we had a lot of business going at the crib, and we were actually turning down people because we didn't know who they were. We just didn't want them in our house. So like the business was growing already, like in the house before we ever moved it to the big place. The place was kind of needed at the time, because we were like, okay. So then, like, everything made sense just to get it at the moment. Because it's like, okay, we're missing money. We could be doing this. It could pay for itself. We could just set it up. Like, let's just set it up.
For real, it's an investment more than like a purchase, if that makes sense. And I feel like y'all lucked the fuck out, too, with, like, that spot. I feel like those mills are popping off right now. Like, in 2022, I've been seeing a lot of artists migrate from Portland into that area.
Yeah, it's nice.
And y'all snagged, like, a really nice spot on the water, natural
the
lighting.
view.
It's super nice.
It's huge, too.
Yeah.
Got a basketball hoop up in there.
Yeah, thanks.
Even a little sink, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it has a
you
sink,
pretty much...
fridge.
You could put a whole damn house up in
I
there.
built the booth with myself with the help from her uncle.
Yeah, I want to talk about that actually. Like you kind of have you finding it, but let's talk about the transformation of the space as time goes on. Because I was in it probably 3 months ago now. I was like very impressed at the changes I had seen. But kind of talk on like you.
I set the original stuff up like on just kind of like a budget, because I really wasn't trying to spend too much money on it, but I wanted it to be fire at the same time.
Facts.
So like we just did a lot of searching like on different sites for different pieces of equipment, and then like all the booths that you could buy, they were super small for like $3,200 for like 3 racks, and I was like, well, I don't really want a small booth, and I don't really want to pay that much.
Yeah, that's
so
still
then
bread, bro.
we just looked up on like how they do the stuff, and then we got some help from a couple people, and then I just put it together. I really got the blueprints and kind of laid it out myself, and then brought it to the studio. Now we got a pretty decent booth.
Yeah, and you
But,
said
we saved mad money. It was like $3,200. We only bought it for all the equipment for like $450.
and then you built it with your uncle. You said right,
Yeah.
Kermit?
Yeah.
The family hooking it up. It's all family
it's
ties at
fire.
Timezone
Right.
Studios.
Mm-hmm.
In the booth, actually like building the booth. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Do y'all have like or did y'all have like a goal or kind of like, it's like a corny ass phrase, like a mission statement? Like I don't know, like obviously it sounded like y'all just like, yo, like we kind of need this, but did you kind of have like a vision for the spot when you opened it up? Because it's cool to have like your own place like that, you know?
Yeah, we had vision for the spot. We had a vision for. We kind of knew what it could become. We were like doing it. We knew what it could become. But as far as that, I kind of feel like what you must have touching on is just like always had like we had like a little vision for Maine type shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm asking.
how it could be like if we was to like run it, like if we was to do it the way we know how to do it and like add that sauce, like then it would be, I feel like it would, like we can make Maine look better.
Straight up.
Right.
So, I mean that's everything.
There's a lot of talent in Maine, you know. There's a
Mhm.
lot of talented artists in Maine,
Stupid.
and we just want but there's not very much of a platform.
Yeah, you
You
could
know?
talk on that. Talk on some of the, like your vision for Maine and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I go
Yeah.
to the bathroom?
Yeah, you can go back
Yeah.
there.
Some of the people, you know, that you represent, that you like.
Yeah, Jalen.
Right,
I want to
yeah.
hear the Jalen vision because that's pretty much why I do this podcast and do everything I do is the same reason. I think
Right.
not enough spotlights get shown on the shit that should get shown, such as y'all. But in your words, like how would you describe that?
Can you repeat that?
Just kind of like you were saying, like you maybe like you had a vision for Maine in a sense. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah, like my vision for Maine is that, well, you know, I work with a lot of very talented artists, like almost on a daily basis at this point. Like we've been booked out, and I can see all the potential, and I feel like I want to be the type of engineer that helps an artist grow, like a Pharrell or a Mike Dean.
yeah.
Or you know, something along those levels, because I see a lot of potential here.
It's stupid amount.
I mean, I've been here quite a long time myself, and just being an artist out here, like seeing the possibility, you know. There's a lot of talented artists that come through and work with us every day,
Yeah.
you know.
No, you good, bro. Everyone, it's been human nature. I just love the fact that you understand that at a young age, though, because you can't put I mean, you guess you can put a price tag on anything. It's capitalism, but
Right.
you can't put a price tag on a good engineer, like someone who's kind of like,
Facts.
you know, like similar to a coach, but they're all back in the day in the
Right.
NBA. They had like the player coaches who would coach and play the game at the same time.
Right.
That's kind of what an engineer can be. Like you can, because you be making beats, you be in the trenches.
He's the best
Right.
engineer, not only in Maine but in the game.
For real.
Yeah,
Is there
he
some
really-
family bias in there, perhaps?
Nah, I really
Nah,
think
I
he's the
like
best
that.
engineer.
Talk on that.
I really
Hell
think
yeah.
he's the best engineer.
We got a lot of crazy engineering for y'all to hear.
Yeah, like we
Yeah.
we got some stuff. Like I feel like I'm a good engineer. Don't get me wrong. I could do all the stuff that he does, but like as far as technique, like I could do all the same things that he does. But the reason what makes him such a good engineer is he's willing to put the time in, and he's willing to sit down and really try to see the vision for each artist and really make it happen in their way. Whereas for me, I'm just gonna like, it's just gonna be like I got my own way of doing it. You feel me? To where like, I'm like, okay, I set every track up like I know I have a professional standard in my mind that I put everything to. You know, and so like, I try to give people the sauce in that kind of way. But he likes to sit down with the artist and really like dive deep with them and spend that time and be up all night and all that type of stuff.
Oh, I love that shit. Stand until the sun come up.
And you know, that goes for my beats as well. Like I just like to work with artists like one-on-one. Really, I feel like there's a lot to be learned there,
Right.
and then we can make it just the best outcome it can be. You know.
Yeah, I feel like you can really get immersed in the space and like, I mean, it is like, yo, creating an art and music, like, it is a very personal thing. I
Exactly.
think, and
Right, for real.
you can't like everyone's like, oh, content. I gotta drop it.
Right.
Like, I mean, some cats can do it. Like this cat named J.R. Specs, who's from Maine, he be dropping a song on the 1st and 15th of every month, and it sounds like
Damn,
authentic and
that's
organic, and I
crazy.
appreciate it. But there's some cats who can't do that, who are just like, new song Friday. I'm like, I feel like I heard this song before.
Right.
But, like, it's just different a little bit.
Right.
But when you really tap into like the artistry of the individual and the life of an individual, and you can have like a more personal connection, and then the music can kind of come from that, even like in a
Right.
small one-on-one sense. I feel like that's immense like knowledge to understand about this art shit at a young age. So
Right.
Salute.
That's respect.
That's his
Salute.
thing,
Yeah.
man. That's like what he does.
It's tremendous, man. I gotta come up. I've been in the crib, I've been. That's why y'all got the space. I've been in the studio a couple times, but I haven't had the time to like, just kick it and be in the background, just observing. And that's probably some of my favorite shit about being out here in the culture. It's just I get inspired watching other people be inspired in the moment.
Right.
I think that's one of the biggest things. So, I mean, salute to y'all. I mean, I guess I'll do this now. I like giving people their flowers in a sense. That's why we do this. Y'all know like Drink Champs and NORA.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I guess, I mean, everything is, no idea is original, but I kind of like was watching that. I'm like, we need shit for that out here in Maine. Like, that's
Right.
exactly why I have this podcast. And I've had you on it twice, had you on it
Right.
twice. Well, I've been trying to get you on it for like 3 years now. Because, like, the fucking publications out here, it's just a bunch of like old white people thinking they know what's going on in the art scene, but they don't really know what the hell is going on to be straight.
Really, for
There's
real.
some real, like as you have said like 5 minutes ago, like, there's some really talented shit out here.
Yeah.
And if we don't put like an eye to that, or even like an ear to that in this sense, it's not like the end of the world, I guess. But to me, it's like
It's just a missed
it's
opportunity.
just like if I'm living in any time, I want to make sure like I know what's kind of popping out here.
Right.
At least I'm trying to know.
Right.
Right.
And that's exactly why Timezone Studios. It's why Cardiac Super Permy and Y2K Jalen and Y2 Crazy is here right now to
Yeah,
give
we
some
get
flowers and say y'all killing it, keep it up. I
Thanks,
love
bro.
seeing it.
Appreciate
That's a little gratitude. So
I appreciate it, man. That's real because we giving out mad free sauce. Not even free, but it's like at the same time, it's just like you ain't gonna get this kind of quality and this kind of like a professionalism from anywhere else for that type
For
of
real.
price. So
Like,
it's really be
everybody-
showing love, like
Everybody that comes to the studio, like, their music gets better. Like, if they come to the studio multiple times, their shit gets better every time, without like a doubt.
mm.
yeah.
Even me, like, literally everyone. The
It's
engineering,
because,
the beats, all that shit.
You know, we actually care about the artist.
Yeah.
When you're an engineer who doesn't care about the artist, you're just doing shit to get it out the way. Like, you know,
Right.
just like, and a lot of engineers out here don't really care about the artist. But when you coming from a place of caring about the scene and like wishing the best for Maine and like, you know, trying to
For
take it to a
real.
new level, you actually work with the artist. You ask them questions. You tell them they have to redo that line. You know,
Right.
like maybe that one wasn't good enough. You know,
Yeah,
you communicate those kind of things.
100%. It
'Cause
ain't
you
just another
care.
check. It's
Yeah.
like something that's like I can tell y'all. You mean you got your business tip figured out? Like you ain't fucking around, but
Right.
I feel like you're coming at this more as artists than like business people,
Yeah.
which is the most
for
important. I
real.
mean, like, the same shit I do. I mean, this is somewhat professional, but you ain't gonna see me like trying to like put this shit on like Channel 6 News. Like fuck that. Even if only like let's say 100 people see this ever, maybe 50 of those will pick up on some sauce and create some art that impacts somebody else down the line. That's the most important
real.
shit. I think Jalen, I gotta just tap into your brain for a couple questions if we can.
Yeah. What's up?
Where do you draw inspiration from?
I draw inspiration. I draw a lot of inspiration from honestly my older brother.
That's love.
He's put me onto a lot of shit that I didn't know about, a lot of culture, a lot of, you know, sounds, you know.
You've been around for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just like, a little bit. Like you've been around coast to coast, north to
Right.
south.
No, for sure.
Like I feel like my brother kind of like introduced a lot of what's going on like in the underground to me. Because before, my view of hip-hop was very, like... I listened to a lot of old-school hip-hop prior to that. And I didn't really listen to much of the new stuff.
Like boom bap type shit? Like 90s
boom bap
shit?
type shit. Like
Outkast.
MF Doom.
That's probably my
And
favorite
then,
rapper. Yeah.
and like, one of the only new cats I listened to was Rap Ferreira. You know, so, like, I didn't know about, you know, what was going on in rap outside of that little bubble. And my brother, he introduced me to a lot of that stuff, and I just fell in love with it.
It's so cool because I'm the same boat. Not to interrupt, but I was big like boom bap and like like Wu-Tang, like
Yeah.
Illmatic, shit like that
Yeah,
from back in the
right.
90s. I don't want to call it like a safety net, but shit I knew I could play around other kids in my high school and when they get ostracized.
Exactly,
Like, I think I
yeah.
probably butchered that word, but like if I want to play something a little experimental, or like I don't hate, it's a severe word. I don't like this phrase, but this is like what like normie motherfuckers call it, like mumble rap.
Yeah.
I couldn't play like that kind of shit around my homies because, but what the fuck is this?
Right.
I remember trying to play like Father, like Key and shit like that back then.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Well, this is trash." I'm like, just because it's not like
One of my favorite
directly,
underground
this shit's good, yo. Like it's
Right.
there's a nuance to this shit y'all don't understand.
They all just
Right.
not getting right.
Exactly.
Facts.
That's why I like having like-minded individuals here. What is already understood does not need to be explained.
Right.
That's what they
Real
say.
talk.
All
Yeah,
right,
I use the
Jane.
bathroom.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, I was gonna ask you another question.
word.
Go do what you gotta do.
Hold up.
Permy, Cardiac. Shout out some artists that have been at Timezone recently that you've been working with. Anyone you want to shout out? Who's been really killing it right there for y'all right now?
Right now,
JCK, he's really fun.
oh yeah, I like the kid JCK. He's dope.
Mm.
I like Local King. He's
Local
fire.
King.
I feel like if I do this, some people gonna get mad. 'cause
Or
I
they're
can't
gonna be
think
like,
of
"Oh
everybody
fuck, you
right
didn't
now.
mention me."
But
It's all love if you don't get
I-
mentioned. It's hard to remember names.
I say like this, like every individual artist that come through, they got their own type of thing. Like everybody's been
Yeah,
super
facts.
original, so like everybody that comes through, I basically appreciate them, and like they pretty much is decent. I mean, everybody. Of course, you got some people who just starting off,
Yeah.
but they could get better as time goes on too. So it's all about working on your craft and stuff. And right now, we working on her album.
Yeah.
Her album is like she's my favorite artist out here. She's going crazy right now. So
Yeah.
we just been putting most of our time and energy lately into like her album and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that on my list for later, but let's finish talk about the Permy album right now. Let's keep it flowing. Is there anything you want to tease? Some details, some coming soons you want to throw at the people?
You getting the concept?
Well, yeah, I'll give you the concept. So the album's gonna be called Permy 64,
I like that.
and it's like based off of the Kirby game on the N64.
Yeah, I see you with Kirby on the IG. I think,
Yeah, that's like, I don't know, that's like the icon that I
Nice.
like to use.
Hell yeah.
And so the album is gonna be fully produced by Y2 Crazy, and I'm gonna do the cover art, and it's gonna be like, it's based off of the game,
Okay.
and so like it's like kind of like video game type sounds, like cute little like, you know,
The
like
Mario
sparkly,
coins and shit
like
like that.
all
you
that
know,
shit.
stuff like
The
that.
production is heavy with that.
I heard
Yeah,
some.
it's
Remember,
fire.
y'all played me some of that when I forget what I was coming through for, but
Yeah.
I heard like 3 or 4 tracks. And I was
Me and my brother are both producing and engineering it. So
all in house.
Yeah,
it's a
all
Timezone
in-house.
Studios
In-house.
exclusive.
Everything.
Single
Yeah.
source, farm to
We-
table.
we're gonna use her album as something that it's gonna be like one of our best efforts. So it's gonna be like it's one of our first like.
It's a proof of concept.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
first album we doing that we just focused on one artist and we trying to make it sound the best as we can and really
Right.
just like.
It'll be good for the portfolio.
Yeah, like
For
when
real,
people
for real.
see it, it's gonna be like some of our best engineering, some of our best beats. Like
I'm excited to hear
Right.
that shit. How do you think you've grown from Permeate to this project?
I think I've definitely gotten a lot like cleaner, and I've tried to like, I'm very chaotic as an artist. Like I usually don't have like any rhyme or reason or rhythm to how I do shit. Like I just be just doing it. And like this one I've tried to like, I feel like they've helped me like fine tune like how to make it a little more technical, mathematical, like make it make more sense for like people to easily digest it.
Yeah.
And I feel like this tape's gonna be a little bit more well perceived because it's more cohesive. Like I have a whole concept, the beats go together, the visuals go together,
Even the
like it
title.
makes sense.
Like Permy 64.
Yeah,
title
and
all
everyone
together.
already recognizes the Kirby shit. They associate
yeah.
that with me already, so it just makes a lot of sense. And it's like the most genuine piece of art that I've made. Like all of the songs that I put on it are just like signature to me and like my essence. And
I like that.
Yeah.
And you said when you did the cover, does that mean you painting it?
I
drawing
don't know. I don't know if I want to do like a digital art or if I want to paint it. I gotta think about it. I really want to paint it, but I'm trying to think like I want it to be clean too. So
Yeah,
I'm still working on that idea.
no
but
doubt. Because I believe in the interview we did last year, you said you view yourself as a painter first. Almost,
yeah, for
instead
sure.
of a
And I was
musician.
gonna. I think when I drop the tape, I'm gonna like drop a series of like art pieces
That's sick.
to like go with it too.
Yeah, that's
that would
wicked
be
though.
cool.
It's a very unique rollout. Y'all would just be doing your own thing. I'm loving it, yo. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
man.
Tremendous. I finna go back to jail and I think before you popped out to the bathroom. I got some more questions for you. While I got this, while I got you in the crib, we gotta hit you with some.
Alright, what?
Do you have a process behind your production? Is it kind of like a routine, or is it different every time you get behind it?
I've been making beats like every night for years. It's a discipline thing. Like, you know, just last night, you know, I was up till 3-4 in the morning making beats.
But do you work mornings or nights?
I mean, I work like afternoon.
That's shoot. I was making sure you're getting your at least
So
some 7-8 hours up in there.
I wake up.
You're not getting that sleep.
Nah, I don't sleep. I don't sleep. I'm vampire.
Damn,
mode,
you
bro.
ain't be tired up in the day?
Nah.
The music keep you going.
Yeah, the music literally
I
keep
know
me
that.
going. But
I know that.
yeah, I be up till 5, 6 in the morning making beats, and I sleep till like 2.
Do you
And
produce or do you approach producing differently than engineering?
Honestly, I would say that I approach engineering the same way I approach producing. Because I was a producer first.
Oh yeah, that's the better way to phrase it. Exactly.
Yeah, so I yeah, I would have my process with producing is I really just am always trying to find something to give me more creativity or more tools to play with. Like I'll install new plugins, get new sample packs. I actually make my own packs. I make my own loops, you know.
Yeah.
Or I'll send out like melodies, and that's pretty much my process. I'm just constantly trying to keep it exciting and fight the boredom that comes with it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm already dedicated to it, so
That's fact.
I want to keep it interesting. You know?
Shout out OB Beats. Shout out Julian.
Bean John,
Shout out Northern Faction.
Northern Faction.
Bean John. Next one up.
Yo, AJ Tuwaki.
I don't know any of these names. Y'all tapping me in. man.
OB Beats. That's my boy from the crib.
Walkstar.
He produced for everybody, bro. He raw as fuck. So I'm saying that so when he see this.
There you go. Yeah,
So
if y'all,
you
you know how
raw
much
as
love
fuck.
it is. Just get.
And Northern Faction already know, like,
Right.
Julian, we been
That's
locked in
game.
crazy.
Here we go.
That's like, he was producer crazy. Jalen fucks with all them, bro.
J-Mo.
J-Mo.
Right, Jam.
All the
Yeah.
producer homies, man.
That's love. Do you prefer engineering for shit that you produce, or does it really matter?
I mean, it doesn't really matter, but do I prefer it? Yeah, because it's like, you know, I made the beat, so as I'm making the beat, I might already have an idea for how I want to engineer it to interact with the beat, you know?
Yeah.
I just try to think about how everything interacts.
I like that, how it all kind of connects together. Because everything does connect together. Everything
Right.
is everything, but how can you find the connection in a sense?
Right, exactly.
Hell yeah. Do you ever, I guess in two different questions, one for producing and one for engineering, just as an individual, do you have a concrete goal when it comes to this? Like, is there something that you kind of think about? Maybe when you get that, like, you know, boredom and you're like, nah, I got to keep going. I got to remember.
Really, I would put it like this. Like, every time I work with an artist, I can see, like, their best self. Like, I swear I can really see it in them. Like, every time I'm like, man, I see how you can be so raw and how people will enjoy you. And I just try to bring that out of them with beats and engineering.
Gotcha.
Because it's like, maybe it's because I don't know, I just care a lot. I'm like, yo, I want to help you as an artist, you know? Like, especially with certain people like P and, like, you know, Flair and other, like, people that I really work, like, one-on-one with, you know?
Right, that's like your main skill. He's like a chameleon. Like any artist he works with, he can like absorb their vibe and like direct them to be better.
That's pretty wild.
That's respect.
Yeah, that's a hard
Scary.
skill to have. You know, most people can say like, "Oh yeah, I can like work with anybody," but they just like cap them. But like, if you
Yeah.
can actually like figure out how to,
I want to push the people in the right direction because I see how they could be so dope. And, like, you know, I just want to make that come real.
yeah,
You know, I try to give people a shot, you know, like in the industry. Like, that's what I really try to give people.
yeah, get their best self out there.
Get their bet, exactly.
I like that. What about you, Permew? How do you approach artistry? Is there a goal you have in mind?
Is there a goal?
Or not even I guess like a mindset's a better way to put it.
I mean, I feel like the reason I do art is just like I'm just trying to like just make the most pure, genuine expression of myself. Like art is just a reflection of you
100%.
type shit. So you can't really do it wrong if you're being genuine. And like it's just the most natural thing, like ever since I've been a kid, like creating has been the most natural thing I've been able to do. So I just really enjoy doing that, honestly.
I love
like
that.
it's not I have a goal to like I want to make connections and be successful and like make a name for myself, but that's not really why I do it. It's more of like I have more of like a spiritual connection with like my creativity and all the creative things I do. Like it's more like, you know, like
Say less. I'm exactly the same way.
yeah.
I just do it because I gotta get it out. That makes sense.
Yeah, for real. Like I'm I'm like an introverted type person. I don't really like express a lot just verbally, like, yeah, I'm doing this. Like, I usually don't say shit, and then I just let my creative things express the type of person I am and like what things I'm into, like that I'm into. So it's like, I don't know, it's like an outlet for me, I guess.
Yeah, no, I feel that 100%. Cardiac, Chris. What about you? I mean, I'll have two questions because I feel like you're getting kind of more in the management shit too recently.
Yeah.
But you know, I got into your shit because of your music, man. I still got lyrics of yours stuck in my head to be straight.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Doomsday and shit.
I took it. I still make music, bro. I just like, really what it is I've been making music, and also I'm just picking up on the fact that I could do other things as well. You feel me? Like, I was making music for so long, bro, and I had little homies up under me doing stuff, going crazy. You feel me? So like, I picked management. Like, found me. Like, I wasn't even really trying to be a manager. I was just like being an artist. But like, while I was being an artist, I was like helping people out just because like I seen other people had the same type vision as I had. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just help the people out that's like genuinely trying to do it. You know. So I started helping those people out, and then they started getting in good positions as well. So that's when I realized, I looked at it, I was like, well, I could, like, if I could manage these people, like, then I could really help people do that, you know? So it's like, sometimes, like, it's not like I fully put music to the side. It's just the fact that sometimes to do what you really want to do, you gotta do other things first, you feel me? And like, as far as the music side goes, I'm just building a team so I could be able to eventually put my music out as well. You feel me? When the time is right, because everything has a timing to it as well.
Straight up, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, that's just really what it is. And then like as far as like, what was the question again? Like, it was like
just kind of the mindset behind you as an artist, and then also kind of like a manager. But you answered it eloquently.
So that's the management shit. As far as like an artist goes, like, my creative process really just comes from like, I don't know, like, I'm definitely more like the goal oriented person than out of like them. Like, she has like a more like spiritual connection, and he like really be doing like really production shit with everybody and like really tapping into it. But me, I'm more of like a making your dreams into reality kind of guy. I'm more like, how are we gonna practically do this and like make it make sense? So that's why I feel like life put me in a management role, because I'm like, I'm trying to make the magic happen, to be like, okay, let's take this and make it into that, you know, and like, let's take it to here so we could really do that stuff. You could really make money off your music, you know, like, you could really like,
I feel like that's the best way that like,
the way that you want to live, by just doing the stuff that you like to do.
Yeah. I feel like that's the best way that you like display your like creativity. Like, your music is super creative, but like your most natural like expression of how you're creative is like delegating like life more so than like
I like to set people up.
You're an
like,
artist of life.
Set a lot of people up. I help set a lot of people up so they could keep on going, so we could do this as a team and work together. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm just helping people along the way as I'm working on my own skills and crafts, so I could become even better at myself.
Yeah.
You feel me?
The more you help others, the more you really helping yourself too.
Right.
Not that's even the purpose of doing it. It's just kind of a positive outcome of it. In a sense.
But at the end of the day, it's like it is for me, but it's also for them too. Because the thing about it is I'm not helping just anybody. Like, not any random person. The people that I'm helping happen to be people that are close to me, or people who I consider family.
Yeah.
So it's not like, like, oh, I'm gonna get on and say fuck you later type shit.
Yeah.
No, we all want to see each other have our times, and we all want to see each other win. You know. Like, he want to see me have my time just as bad as I want to see him have his time. We all want to see each other shine.
That's the best, though. I mean, when you have that, like,
we just understand how to make it make sense at the time that we in right now. So at this time we in right now, we promoting her shit, and he's doing what he's doing, you know, and we might have to switch roles later on if it makes sense for a different time. But that's just how it goes. You
Timing
know, 'cause
now.
we working as a team. He has music that he want to put out too, you know. Like,
yeah, he's also a dope rapper, but that's on the low. That's on the low right now.
Permy dropping perfect tidbits of information here. I think we can get to a couple more, but I kind of want. Well, I just want to say salute. I like how all three of you kind of have a like-minded collective consciousness about what you're doing here at Timezone, but like you said, everyone knows what kind of role they have to play in a certain time.
Right.
Exactly.
I think that's big when you're part of a team, or even like a collaborative effort, or just like you said, creating with fam. Everyone's gotta like understand, like it can't always be like the same vibe for everyone at the same time. Sometimes people got different roles, sometimes people got different
Right.
positions, and
Right.
if you really do care about the artistry and the craft, and y'all got love for each other, man, it's like you don't even have to like explain that. You just know.
Right.
Because then, if it ain't your time now to do what you want, you pivot to something else. You get into that, and then before you know it, you'll be doing what you want to do before you even know it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Facts,
That's what I
facts,
was
for
saying.
real.
Like, just say I never played my role as a manager. I never helped anybody else get on. That's not doing anything for me, even though it's still doing something for them. It's
Yeah.
still doing something for me.
Right,
Yeah.
But I
right.
wouldn't do it with anybody else who wouldn't feel the same about the
Mm.
same. So it's like everybody's just is like a circle, just everybody just playing their part, so everybody
Yeah.
could get to the next thing.
Right.
Everybody's
Exactly.
gonna grow together.
For real, for real.
Facts.
You all
When
come
they
up.
win, we all win type
Yeah.
shit.
Hey,
like-
We don't
love
look
that.
at nobody
Right.
like ahead of the thing. We don't look at nobody like, oh, you're ahead. We just look at everybody like everybody's their
Just
own
playing
boss.
it right.
Yeah.
Right.
She's her own boss. He's his own boss. I'm my own boss. But we come
Right.
together with our skills.
Conglomerate.
Exactly.
Right, for real.
What's that phrase? It's not a it's not a competition. It's a collaboration.
Right.
Something like
Yeah,
that. Where it's like you don't have to
exactly.
like you can compete. Like I think hip hop and competition go hand in hand personally,
Right.
but it can be a friendly
A
competition.
friendly
Right.
competition.
Y'all wanna see each other
Right,
win.
right.
If you think about it, everybody got their own idea of success too. Like what I
Yeah,
consider
for real.
successful for me might not be what he considers successful for him or she considers successful for her.
Mm.
You know.
Right.
So like I'm not trying to get in the way of him chasing whatever his success is. Just like he not trying to get in the way. We just trying to help each other get to our successful goals,
No doubt.
Right.
and then be
For sure.
safe and secure in the process, and make sure that everybody just could do that. And like,
Hell yeah. I love it.
Put it
Y'all making me
together.
feel very warm-hearted here. I love when motherfuckers know how to handle themselves, and also good musicians also have good insight to how this life shit kind of works out.
right.
Hell yeah.
Before we conclude, maybe wind down, do the final questions. Y'all down for some kind of lighthearted, silly, rapid-fire questions first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'll specify if it's just for one person, but these will all be treated as like you all gotta answer it.
Alright.
Okay.
First one. What's your favorite shape?
Star.
Probably Pentagon.
I don't know. A circle.
Nice. Who's an artist you spinning heavy right now?
Currency.
Shawnee Bin Laden.
Probably like Ken Carson.
Dope. I've heard of those two. I haven't heard of that one. I gotta
You
check
ever
it
heard
out.
of Ken Carson?
No, I'm tripping.
He dope.
Nah, I'm gonna say I like because usually when I hear about music, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that. But no, it's good to be wrong and like say you haven't heard it. I ain't tapped in. I'm finna learn.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Go to midnight snack.
Grapes.
You killing it with the rapper, by the way. You just we
Yeah,
hit it
right,
away.
you rapping.
They're like,
Yo, I can't even lie. Like I've been on some like healthy shit,
good shit.
and they got these like mango slices, but they organic, like no added shit.
Yeah, none of that processed refined sugar.
Yeah, none of the
Fuck that
processed shit. But yo, mangoes, that's gotta be.
You
on
be
the
up
list.
like 3 a.m. on them beats, eating
yeah,
them mangoes.
straight up eating a mango.
I don't know. I be
Beautiful.
trying all type of new shit. I be liking all the new little fucking. Yo, I just had some strawberry Kit Kats. They were fire.
Yo,
But like whenever a new little shit comes out, new flavor candy and little
Mm.
fucking hostess shit, I like to try that shit. So
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
just go and grab some new shit.
You gotta try it out. I'm kind of halfway in between. I'll be eating mad clean, like
No, actually churro bugles. Those were fire.
That's very
Oh,
specific.
like
yeah.
cinnamon and shit.
Bugles, but churro.
Very pretty blessed.
I've had the cinnamon toast crunch churros, which don't really. I mean, you can't ever beat the OGs.
Oh wait, actually, I've had those.
What do you think?
They're pretty good.
Yeah, I think OG cinnamon toast crunch is
I like-
probably better.
Yeah,
I like
no, it
milkshakes
is.
in the summertime.
Milkshakes
Yeah,
is good.
facts.
Yeah.
I thought you said we were gonna say mochi. You ever have mochi?
I love
What is
mochi.
Mochi.
that?
It's a
Yo.
little ice cream balls with like what is it?
Oh, I've
what's
seen
around
Mochi
it
it?
is
before,
so
but I've
bussin'.
never tried
It's
it.
got like like a little almost like it sounds
Like
hella gross.
gelatin with
like a
ice.
skin.
Yeah,
It's like ice cream
it's
with
like
skin.
a gelatin skin with ice cream inside.
That's
of it.
gas though. The green tea ones
I gotta try
and
this.
Takis. I'm addicted to Takis right
Yeah.
now. I can't stop eating them shits.
And goddamn bubble tea.
But I ain't on camera, yo. I never had bubble tea before.
Really?
Wow.
I gotta get that shit right.
Yeah,
I heard
that's
it's
good.
good.
Yeah.
It's got little balls on the bottom, right?
Pause, yeah.
You said balls.
Hey,
DoorDash.
DoorDash.
hey, how you doing? Baby Keem or Lil Baby?
Baby Keem.
Little baby.
I'm just not that big of a fan of
I
Lil
gotta
Baby.
say, I gotta say, right now I'm listening to Keem more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think he makes better songs, but I think Lil Baby raps harder, if that makes sense.
he's harder. Yeah,
When he just goes, I'm like,
Yeah, I feel that.
"Jeez, you don't stop. Baby Keem's got some songs, especially on that first tape. I think he had a tape before "Die for My Bitch." I think that's what it was called. Cause I was listening to him when he was working with Cardo when he was like 15.
Oh,
But
wow.
Damn, that's crazy.
there's like so many like pop anthems that are like pretty still hard. I feel like on that tape. So Baby Keem definitely got it, but Lil Baby got it too. Jalen and Chris, Y2 Crazy. Who's an artist you'd love to produce for you haven't yet?
It's a good one.
You first. Let's see. It's a good one.
It's a tough question.
Right.
There's a lot of good artists out there, yo.
Right? There's a lot of artists who I want to produce for, but who does it make sense to produce for? I don't know. We kind of do anything. Oh, you know who I want to produce for? I want to produce for Bear One Boss.
yup.
Right,
Damn,
that would
you
be
took my
so
answer.
hard.
I don't think I've ever heard of them.
I'm trying to
either.
get featured too, look.
Future? That'd be
Feature.
Oh, feature.
Feature.
I thought you said
Right.
future. Like future on watch.
Right, yeah.
Yo, shout out Bear One Bus.
Right.
I gotta check that out. That's why I love talking to people about music because I'm always like, I know a good amount about music. I'm like,
But
I ain't heard
on
any
some
names.
like legendary shit, like my favorite artist is Future.
that'd be
That
pretty
would
wild.
be. That would be.
I mean, come on, future. On,
But I
like,
kind of
your
want
own
a song
beats.
with him. I ain't want a beat.
It could happen.
Hey, you
I would,
wanna
have, I would
rap
fuck
on
with the
that
beat
shit, too?
though.
I feel like someone you
I be
would
thinking
work
about
with.
underground artists when I be thinking about beats, just cause like that's like what I do, what we do mostly.
Yeah, well, it could be anything. But y'all got the same answer you said?
I would say like on some underground shit like Bear One Bus, but then on some legendary shit like Pharrell, bro.
Ooh,
He's
it's
like
gliding over you.
bro. That's my number one
Ever?
inspiration. Like
Right.
If people see, that's why I'm impressed by you because most people my age, I'm 28. I remember like early 2000s MTV and radio. It was all Neptunes,
Yep.
all Pharrell.
All Pharrell, G.
I was legit actually the song of the day I'm posting for Rhyme Beat tomorrow is "Can I Have It Like That?"
Yeah, that's a good ass.
And it's pretty poppy and like not the most like like bar for bar the most impressive Pharrell performance, but that song is so fucking good.
and it's positive vibes too.
Yeah,
Like
he knows how to do
he
that.
knows
too,
how
right?
he can do positive vibes without it being corny like that.
Very always looks very fun, but it's not like
Yeah.
MC Hammer type having fun. It's like,
Right.
oh, I want to chill with this. Especially when he had that mustache in like early 2000s and he was
Yeah,
wilding out.
yeah.
I shouldn't say
I like,
wilding out. He
I
was
like
loving
to
it.
produce for all the artists I listen to though. Basically, anybody who I listen to, I want to produce. for.
That's facts.
That's love, man. Permy, who's an artist you'd like to get a guest 16 from?
That's a tough one. Cause I don't really do that many features. So if I did a feature, if I like paid for a feature, if I wanted to like pursue like another famous person to get on a song with me, it'd be like I'd have to think about it really hard.
You could even pivot like dream person to ask for a Permy 16. Someone was like, if you could hop on anyone's song.
If a dream person, anyone, definitely it would be Andre because
Three
he's my
Stacks.
favorite.
That'd be
Or
wild.
him or Currency.
Both
Those
of
would be
them
like
on the
both
same
of them. Oh my god,
On
that
a
would be
Y2
so
Crazy beat.
beautiful. Cause
Yeah, I
Andre,
love Currency.
he did that. He came out of retirement and did a song with Divine Council.
Yeah, we talked
that
about
shit
this.
was
December.
that shit was so
That shit's
legendary. If there was a
hard as
Permy
hell.
version of that, my life would just be made.
That would be dope.
That'd be
Whoa.
beautiful.
I'm picturing like Moon remix, 3 Stacks just drops out the blue. You wake up one day and 3 Stacks adds a verse
He's
to
at
that.
the end, bro. That'd be crazy.
Who's the best cook out of all y'all?
Me,
Permy, no doubt.
yeah, for sure.
Describe Timezone Studios in one word.
Nostalgic.
That's a good word. Yeah.
All y'all gotta do it. We need 3 words. Unless y'all want to use that one. That's a nice word.
I think. Fuck. Advancing, like a word for it.
Yeah,
just
growth.
Like moving, growth.
Progression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Growth.
Shit like that.
Good shit. Nostalgic progression.
Nostalgic.
That's a
There you go,
mixtape
there you
title
go.
or a song title. Favorite thing about Maine?
The like nature shit, the ocean.
Oh, the ghost back.
Oh.
Sorry. The bathroom door just shut open
hell?
and freaked me the fuck out. The nature of Maine is beautiful. Though.
Yeah.
I would say my favorite thing about Maine is probably just being by the ocean.
Mm.
I just like that. Like,
Ocean's sick as
It's
hell.
such a
I grew
vibe.
up in Orchard Beach, so like the beach is literally like what
Yeah.
saves me a lot.
Right.
for
facts,
real.
I, feel
love being
that.
by the water.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I say the same thing. Just the water, the ocean.
Nice. Because it's cool. I mean, you've been all over the country too, so I feel like Maine must have pretty good impact on you if you stay in here.
Right.
It's
I
cool.
like the architecture.
It's pretty
Like
interesting.
the old shit. That
Yeah.
looks pretty cool.
There's a lot of history out here.
Yeah. Facts.
Let's look at the other side of the coin, though. What's your least favorite thing about Maine?
I know. It's a fucking one-way traffic. Everything's
This
just
guy.
like there's
Stupid.
one lane traffic everywhere you go. Like what the fuck? Can we get some
And
more
mad
lanes?
one-ways.
Yeah. I thought so. So yeah, I thought you said one ways, but
I'm not used to
one
driving
ways
in
and
one-
one lanes.
Yeah, one way. I meant to say one lane, but I'm not used to just driving like behind somebody else the whole time.
Yeah, like Route 1 in the summer, and you're just trying to get something
Oh
real quick at
my
the
God.
store, and you're stuck for like 50 minutes.
Most of the cities I grew up in had like a lot of lanes.
Yeah, I mean, even like most cities have a
Yeah.
big ass like 4-lane highway in the middle of them, and you can
Right.
do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
What about you, Permy? What you hating about the state of Maine?
The winters suck really bad.
Those are good answers. And often too,
Yeah.
when you combine the winters with the road situation,
Oh my god.
it's a bad time for
Horrible.
everybody involved.
For real.
Get that.
Yeah.
You gotta like leave an hour early.
For real.
Let's end on a nice note, though. What's a song that clears your head?
That's a good one. You look at your playlist.
It's tough. I mean, there's a lot of.
There's
I'll
so
say
many
one.
songs.
Let me
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got
I'm trying
one
to
right now.
think.
This one right
You-
here is my
Let me
song.
say. Let me think. Damn it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we got Super Future.
Yeah, Super with Drake. Wait for you.
That's on a new one, right?
Yeah, that's on the new album. You know that song was supposed to be for Kanye. I read an interview that said the song was supposed to be for Kanye.
Nice. Hell
Then
yeah.
he put Drake on it, but it still came out hard.
I would say for me,
Stuff like that.
I'll just say because I heard it today, "The Healer" by Erykah Badu.
Hmm.
You ever heard that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like I probably have.
Yeah.
I have
That's
to.
just
I
beautiful.
would have to hear it again.
A lot of like old, actually, "Blessed" by Schoolboy Q popped in my head too.
Right.
That song always helped me back in the day. And also, I feel like just old. I could put on like Stevie Wonder.
For sure.
Or something
Old
like
stuff
that.
hell
You know,
yeah.
Yo, 808s and Heartbreak.
Right? Old Kanye.
That
Kanye
shit cleared
too.
my brain.
Some good shit. Yeah.
Kanye,
What about you,
sure.
Per? Maybe like a 3 Stacks verse.
Yeah, Andre always.
Oh, the Art of Storytelling Part 1, I think. I think that's the one. That has like the iconic beat that J. Cole actually rapped over once too. That verse always gets me too.
Yeah, facts.
All right, well these GoPros be tweaking out, so I think we should be getting kind of towards the end of this tenure here. Well, first off, congratulations, y'all survived the rapid fire. That's a big one right there. But let's kind of wind down. I want to hit you all with one more kind of individual question here, because I do appreciate what y'all do as a unit, but I want to shine each individual a little bit too.
Okay.
Chris, Cardiac, what's the biggest lesson you've learned traveling?
The biggest lesson I learned traveling was just, I guess, wait, let me say, I guess I'd say when you're, I guess, like, traveling, just, like, everywhere got a different culture, and just, like, tap into what their culture is no matter where you at, and just move respectfully.
That's a great answer. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Permy, I asked Jalen this, but what inspires you, or what has been inspiring you lately?
I feel like what inspires me, like, mostly, besides just, like, the need to express myself creatively, is, like, I just have a vision for myself and, like, my potential, and, like, I just do things every day that, with the goal to reach that, you know what I'm saying?
I
I
love
just
it.
keep the vision in mind with everything
You
that
walk
I
in
do.
your path day by day.
Yeah, yeah.
and Permy actually kind of spilled the beans on this one because I was going to ask you on this. Jalen, what's like a fact about you that might surprise people? I was going to ask if you spit, so it sounds like it might be something.
Yeah, I mean, a fact that people... Alright, here's a fact. Before I ever made rap beats, I actually made like EDM.
Ooh, like a higher tempo type shit with like
Yeah.
big bass drops and shit.
That, but also like really chill EDM. Like,
Cool, like yeah.
I actually probably listen to like 25% like EDM.
Nice.
Like just in my life.
Yeah.
Like I listen to a lot of like Aphex Twin.
Well, you cool as fuck. Man. I love it.
Um,
Yeah, man. You wise behind your years, man. I'll say that.
I listen to a lot of I actually like Kraftwerk.
Yeah.
Like like way before I was inspired to make rap music, I was inspired to make EDM, and that was what got me into making beats. And then I found my love for like rap beats. And
Hell yeah.
That's like what I do.
I mean, there's so much good electronic music out there, bro. I mean, I
Yeah.
think some of the best producers ever. I mean, Aphex Twin is incredible.
Yeah, incredible
Philo, come on.
producer. Like, I just love producing. You know, like
Same,
I
yeah.
just like that.
Same.
So any high level producer, I'm gonna have respect for.
You ever hear about Brian Eno?
Brian Eno, great ambient. Then
And you know. Actually, y'all can't see him, but someone I'm pointing to who's helping out behind the scenes, and I used to play a bunch of Brian Eno up in this place actually.
Oh,
so.
word.
In a different time.
That's vibes.
Speaking of Timezone Studios, is there anything y'all want to tease? It sounds like Permy 64
Yes.
is at the helm right now. That's what's coming up.
Yes,
Yep.
it's coming soon. I don't have a drop date yet, but just be
This
looking
summer.
out for it.
The
Yeah,
summer of
sometime
Permy.
this
I was
summer.
bumping Permy all last summer. I still bump that. I'll be at the gym like I want to do this, and then I'll put like what's it, gold rope around my neck, but I
Oh,
won't
yeah.
show. I'm like I gotta get my shit together, man. I gotta tuck my chains first, and then I gotta make sure I hit that that barbell with stride.
That's fire. That's fire.
Before we kind of conclude here, is there anything y'all want to shout out? Just any people, any I don't know, just any final statements?
Shout out everybody that fuck with me.
Not everyone.
Nah, shout out everybody that fuck with me. Shout out my mom, my dad. Shout out God.
Right.
Shout out my little
Oh God!
brothers.
Shout out God, my mom.
Shout
Dad.
out fucking Jalen.
Shout out
and
Pharrell.
Permy. Shout out Pharrell.
Shout out Pharrell.
Oh, you said for real. I thought you said like shout out Pharrell, but you were just saying for real. I'm tripping.
Yeah, I mean him too.
Him too,
Shout
I
out-
guess.
shout
Fuck
out
it.
to
They
Hood
sound very
Tally.
similar.
Shout out to Neff.
Right?
Yeah.
Shout out to-
Tristan. Shout out
Tristan.
Tristan.
Shout out
Shout out
Gus
Tristan.
gang.
Oh yeah, shout out Tristan. Tristan used to be the video before Willow Pix came in and stole the show here. Tristan, when Tristan was around, I mean Tristan and I are pretty tight. I mean Tristan's on the wall right there actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Straight up, no cap. Shout out Tristan.
Shout out Cole Bennett. Shout out Lucky. Shout out fucking Moolah.
Yep. Shout out
Oh
Mila
yeah,
Flair.
don't forget him.
Shout out everybody, bro.
Tremendous.
Right.
Shout out the universe.
Shout out to the
Facts.
universe.
Facts. Thank you, universe.
Shout out to everybody at Timezone who recorded.
Shout out
Yeah.
to the DMT entities.
Oh God.
Tremendous. We got one more
It's a good
question.
ending.
I'd like to ask this individually, and then I'll ask it as a unit.
Okay.
So you can answer this all separately, and then maybe come together and answer it for Time Zone. Where will each of y'all be 1 year from now?
Yeah. 1 year from now, I'll be doing something cool. In a cool position.
Here we go.
I would just be better than I am now. Each year I progress, so I'll just be closer to my goals than I am now.
That's love. Permy?
Right. I feel like I just see myself more established in all the lanes that I'm pursuing. Music. I want to get into like designing clothes, embroidery stuff. I want to pursue more into the marijuana industry. I want to do more with my art. Like everything that I do, I just want it to be advanced a step farther,
Hell yeah.
basically.
Jaden?
In a year from now, I'm just seeing everything really just coming together. Like, I mean, things come together like each year more and more for me, and so it's like I see it everything just being more together.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Where will Time Zone Studios be 1 year from now?
Timezone Studios will be That's a good question. I can't
Might
even tell you.
right.
I can't even tell you, but we'll have to just wait and find out.
There we go. We cannot predict the future. There's infinite timelines ahead of us right now based upon the decisions we make. That's
Right.
in the
Oh,
present.
It's true, man.
Shout out that. Shout out Metaphysical Thought.
For real.
Shout
I can't do
out
this shit.
Yardy Ting for sponsoring this podcast.
Oh, word.
If you hungry, you
Yeah.
better go to Yardy Ting.
Yeah,
Right.
Yardy
The
Ting
jerk
is
tacos
bussin'.
are bussin'.
Everything.
Yeah.
Hey, chicken. I'm gonna stop. I'll get into a rant. So, shout out Yardy Ting to the infinity.
Shout out Yardy.
Shout out Willow Picks. Shout out Soto for the instrumental for this podcast and the intro and the outro. Shameless plug. I need some bread. Shit is tight. Hit the Patreon page as well if you feel inclined. And much love again to everybody listening at home. 100+ episodes. This shit crazy. Why too crazy? Great transition.
Right.
We out of here. Peace.
Peace out.